Na umaga? Aga pa pala eh. May pasok ka pa. Mm, matulog ka na. Ha? Ano ba to? Ang dami naman ng Google. Ba't ganun? Ang dami ng mga... Hindi, ang dami ng... Notification. Ang dami. Kaya gusto eh. Sige, gaga. Ba't ka man na-stroke? Ano? Iba pa. Sana hinahanap ko yung efficacent oil ko eh. Sumasakit yung paa ko nga. Dali lang. Ay, bait yun eh. Eh, iba kanina kumakain ng manok. Hindi pasaway eh. Kasi dati eh pasaway yun eh. Ano, yung pag hahabulin mo pa bago kumain. Ngayon, nung nilulutuan ng chicken na may ano, chicken na may parang crispy fry. Aba, kumakain. Di, di inano ko lang. Sinusubuan ko lang ng kamay ko. Ah, di okay na siya. Sabi kahit magluluto tayo ng chicken araw-araw para kumain ka. Ha? Puro chicken. Eh, kaysa naman habulin siya ng habulin. Bago kumain, mga abot ko yung 2 hours. Bago matapos. Sa dami ng eksena. Ang daming ano ba yan? Daming mga ano ng Google. Notifications. Lahat ng nasa email.
Don't know if I want to reveal this. This is like one of the secrets. Okay, these are some golden tips that not a lot of people talk about.
Ano to? May game na naman ako sa Bell. View Bill. Kakabayad ko lang ah. Saan? Di, di nga, ayaw nga, di nga makaano si mami. Ayaw ni si mami. Teka lang. Facebook. Nasa may Facebook. Hindi na mag-hotel. Dito lang kami sa bahay. Sabi nila manonood daw ng fireworks. Ewan ko lang kung kakayanin ni mami. Baka hindi nga kayanin kasi nga lagi nga nagre-reklamo. Yung kanina, yung kanina nga nandun na kami sa ano pasakay na kami ng cable car eh. Oh, ganun. Sige, malamig dyan. Bakit ka nagkukumot? Para manigas ka. Malamig. Sobrang lamig. Hmm, Hindi ayos. Di ka na mag-aircon. Hmm? Ano? Hmm. Bye. Good night. Love you. Bye.
What's going going on, guys? So today I want to recap some of my long trades and talk about the strategy behind buying the dip and why it's finally starting to work out quite well. And I'm gonna talk about some key tips when you are trying to buy the dip successfully in this market. We're not talking about buying the falling knife or holding onto your bags. And also, it's like freaking hot in Vancouver right now. Alright, so now that we got my hair out of the way, let's finally dive into the market recap. So if you kind of look at the market on SPY, we're finally starting to rally off the lows. So if you think about it, the long strategies on buying the dip would naturally only work once the market, the overall market, the S&P 500 starts bouncing. So on these like really extended red days, there's literally no point trying to buy the dip or going long on any of the stocks. So that's tip number one. Always check the market sentiment. So today, the market, had a decent bounce the last couple of days. We're bouncing off the lows from the rug pull from the Fed meetings. But we're seeing some decent rally. You can see we're up for continuously for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So when I see that happen, I'm looking at a lot of what I call market stocks, meaning the large cap stocks that follow the market quite closely. So it has to be the large cap stocks, cannot be the small caps. So that's your tip number 2, stock selection. It has to be the large cap stocks that you're trying to buy the dip on. Because when it comes to the small caps, their strategies and the long strategies set up specifically is a little bit more nuanced. So we're gonna have to talk about that in another video. So back to stock selection. When you're trying to buy the dip, you want to pick the large cap stocks that has shown you, at least on the daily chart, that it has the ability to bounce. So if you look at NVIDIA, which is one of the first stocks I started longing today, around 166, I was trying to hold on to potentially to 169, 170s and higher. This one, I only ended up catching about almost 2 points from 166 to 168. So you can see I'm bouncing this around the 166 area. Now, if you draw a line on the daily chart, you can see this whole 155, 160, 166 area on the daily chart. If you kind of zoom out right here, it's kind of like the bottom of the daily chart where this stock has specifically in the past shown that it can bounce from 160s all the way to 190. So we're talking about a potential of a 30-point bounce, at least on the daily chart. I don't think we're gonna get that in one day, but for us day traders, we're trying to capture that bounce for $1, $2, sometimes 3 or 4 or even more when the market really rallies. So that's an important key takeaway. Stock selection, large cap stocks that can actually bounce, no trashy small cap stocks, and of course the market sentiment. You wanna look at longing and buying the dips when the market started to bounce. So this is the first trade I did on alongside NVIDIA. And this is one, I did okay, but I didn't time it that well because I want to show you the second one, NEO. This one I timed a lot better. Now, if you look at the intraday chart on NEO and NVIDIA, I know they are in different sectors. One's a Chinese stock, one's an American stock. But if you look at intraday, it kind of has a similar chart structure. Because if you kind of look at both of them gapped up overnight with the market. NVIDIA gapped up from prior day's close 177 to 174 pre-market. Sold off to the 166 area I was looking at for the long, for the bounce, right? You can see this thing sold off from, almost 10 points, 8 points to a downside before the bounce. Now for NEO, it's a very similar story. If you look at the way it gapped up from prior day's close $24 to 24.60, 24.70s. So a decent amount of gap up. And then this thing also sold off at the open. So they both react similarly to the market. So whenever I see like a market sells off happens after a significant gap up on the individual stocks, usually the best time, I actually don't know if I want to reveal this. This is like one of the secrets. Okay, these are some golden tips that not a lot of people talk about. So if you're still watching here, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below, buy the dip, so I will know that you are actually watching this, and I'll make more recap videos with more of these golden tips in the future. Now, the big difference. So even though the chart and the entries are long, they are all long, NEO and NVIDIA. Even though on the surface, they may look